I have a box. I've preloaded it with something. Now you know it's small. That's about all you know about it. It could be anything. That is test 1. Let's put it somewhere where you can see it. What's in the box? What's in the box? What color is it? What shape is it? What texture is it? Do you hear something? Do you see something? Smell something? Feel something? Those are all cues that your intuition will give you. So you just look at the box and you just ask to know and get quiet. Just wait to see what comes up. It's good to write it down. If you have a piece of paper and you're that kind of person that likes lists and things like that. And hey, I can't read your name. Jastastic. Jatastic. I don't know if I got that right. Am I a collective reader? Yeah, I do collective reads. Do you have a read question that you'd like to pose? I've done many collective readings. You want to guess what's in the box? Do you want to work on that? You always ask a question in your mind about if it's possible to connect to the source of all consciousness and observe it. So you have that question. I could say a lot of things on it. I could give you my opinion. But my opinion isn't what matters here. It's your opinion that matters. All right. Okay. All right. Let's look at that. That's a good one. All right. Spirit, please. Is it possible to connect to the source of creation, the creator of all creation? Spirit, is that possible? What can you tell us about how to do that best? Let's have a card or two to start us off. And then some tarot if I want to finish off with that. Is it possible? There's questions about whether or not that's even possible in our culture, in the way that many of us in the Western cultures have been raised. To not know, to not believe in, to not trust our intuition. And our intuition is our connection to source. Is there something in these cards that you would like to use to start us off with that possibility? Is it possible? All right, so what I got was isolation. And I was just talking about how in our culture, we are isolated from our intuition in the sense that the Western culture, my culture, and for many others that live in the Western culture, it isn't a part of our doctrines. It's not a part of our teachings. It's something that is dismissed because it can't be scientifically or isn't thoroughly scientifically proven. So let's keep going because I want more on advice for this. I'm going to grab my traditional tarot deck. All right. I'm going to formulate this question like this. You always ask the question in your mind about if it's possible to connect to the source of consciousness and to observe it. So that's what we're going to ask about with the tarot. I think I will do maybe, I think I'm going to shuffle more. Trying to decide what type of reading to do, what type of spread to pull for that question. Because some of the spreads that I use will give a little bit of past and future. But really, I want to know about that connection to the source of all source. If it's possible. Okay. I'm going to pull 2 rows of cards. The first row of cards is going to address, is it possible to connect to source of consciousness, creation? And then I will pull another row about observing it. I like that. I want to know about that too. Let's learn about that. All right, so the card that I had pop out was the Wheel of Fortune. And this is about things that transpire that are out of our control. It's about forces greater than ourselves. All right, so with that said, the possibilities of connecting to source consciousness. Tell us about that, Spirit. What else, since you're volunteering cards? What else on that subject? Is this possible? Anything else here? I have a question for you, and that is, do you feel like that you have this connection within yourself? Is it something more than a curiosity? Do you ask it because you're curious, or do you ask it because you suspect you know you have it? We all have it, by the way. Intuitive connection. All right, I'm distracted. I'm going to focus. All right, possibilities. This is possibilities, by the way. This card, we've got the 7 coins. That's about potential and possibilities. I'm just seeing here more of, we have the 10 of swords and we have the 4 of coins. And it's more about how, we've been isolated, right, from our intuitive connection. That thing has been downplayed, right? It's been essentially, the card is about, complete and utter endings. It's about an ending of a way of being or thinking. And it's been eradicated, right? The acknowledgement that it exists, the truth about how it is just part of our senses. It is just like our seeing or hearing or feeling. It's another sense that we have, but it has been, withheld. And we withhold it because, when we're not encouraged to even acknowledge it, what I'm seeing is like a withering, right? Just like I was talking about, in the trailer for the video. I don't know if you saw any of that, but how our intuition is a muscle. And it's something that that we have to learn to recognize and engage. I feel like I have aspects of it. Like Christianity is like an entry to obtaining more knowledge, because perceiving God as being all knowing helps you get a connection, possibly. Right. So there's many paths, right? In my opinion, all religions have good aspects and all religions have bad aspects, and there's like truth and lies. It's all mixed together, and it's about our discernment. And that is your intuition and learning to engage that. And you do have aspects of it. We got to potential, right? And with the world card, I think it's answering your question that, these forces that are outside of ourselves, this consciousness, just, having been withheld from us, or something that we even may have rejected early on. But that connection, it doesn't ever go away, right? It's always there, ready to be tended to, ready to be, he's here and he's in his garden and he has worked hard to plant these things. And he's focusing on it as well. So he's put intention into growing this little bush of coins. And I think that's what they're saying about the connection itself, is you apply yourself to planting those seeds, or even to recognizing them, right? So I'm going to move on to the second part of that question, which was about the observing of it. That's interesting. Okay. The observation of the connection that we have. And I hope that brought some clarity for you on whether or not it's possible, whether or not there even is maybe a collective or a supreme consciousness that you can engage in too. And to me, in my opinion, that is your intuition. Your intuition is your connection to that supreme consciousness, the consciousness of the creator of all creation. All right, got 2 coins. Working more now here on some cards for the observation. 2 coins is about choices. What more on observing this connection? Maybe some advice for us here, Spirit, on how best to do that. The moon is about our inner workings. It's about the programming that we have that maybe we don't even realize that we have. And again, it's falling back into this category here about the things that have been suppressed and isolated from us, right? Just the acknowledgement that it even exists is something that has been, thoroughly withheld. And even within Christianity itself, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I could easily call myself a Christian. I absolutely know what the Christ force is and what it represents. But for me, the religion of Christianity and the essence of the Christ force are 2 different things. Religion talks about it, but it also, has a way of controlling it. They're not out there, in my opinion. I don't see the Pope out there, saying, you have a religious connection. You have the connection to source within you. You don't need me. See, that would be a problem if the Pope was saying that, because within Christianity, within Catholicism, the Pope is the one that has the connection to God. and you don't. And that, to me, is wrong. Because we all have the right to this connection, because it's just part of being human. So we shouldn't be isolating ourselves from that. Oh yeah, okay, I'm distracted. I'm going to carry on with the cards. All right, so we were talking, oh yeah, that's how I got over there. on diatribe on religion, sorry. And how I don't think that the Pope is the only one that has the connection to God, nor is he the only one that has a right to the connection to God. If the Pope had the strongest connection of God, then we'd ultimately view God as an external being rather than an internal being. Okay. As an external being rather than an internal being. Gosh, I almost feel like that might be the problem, is that they do portray this as an external being, like God is somewhere else. God is something else, something other than you, when ultimately, if we have a connection to the consciousness of Source, of the creator of all creation, then therefore isn't that our connection to God itself? And doesn't that make us one with that? Just my mind rambling. Whoa, that's too many cards. I'm going to take these two, though. And I'm going to see what they have to say now about the observation. What? My cards are messed up. I was looking for the bottom of my deck. With the Six of Wands. Okay. The observation. Let me take a look here. I have a lot of cards. I think you can see them all. I'll tell you what they are, though. We have the Two of Coins, the Moon, the Eight of Wands, the Five of Wands, the King of Swords, and the Three of Wands. And a lot of wands, a lot of action. But it started the story with making choices. And I'm just seeing making choices about choosing to focus on, like we were saying up here, about the possibilities of there being that connection and what it takes to foster it, to grow it, is going to have to do with your choice, the choice to focus on it. So that being the first step in observation. Because, again, observing your own intuition would be observing that consciousness, if that makes sense to you. It's like the same thing. So if we can, accept or ponder that there are forces, this consciousness of Source outside of ourselves, then, and we can ponder that it's something that it's within ourselves, then we can take a look at those ideas, those programmings, the things that we were told as we were growing up, about intuition even existing at all. Yeah. So these two cards, we've got the Eight of Wands and we've got the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands can be about exercise and challenges, not necessarily about conflict or fighting. These boys are here. Oops, wrong card. These boys are here, and they are challenging each other. The Five is about change. It's about moving forward. And in this case, they're challenging each other to, find out who will be victorious, right? But what I'm seeing and what I'm thinking about is the observation, right, of your intuition The observation of that consciousness, the observation of your own intuition is observing that consciousness. Challenging it, which is what, this was about, really, kind of in the first place, of just having this little fun session of, yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about how we feel about our intuition, what we think of our own, and to practice some, to try to feel what it's like to have that connection speak to you, quote unquote, and just to fool around with it in a place that's not judgmental, right? That is really just kind of about, finding the truth within yourself about it. Because this journey is personal. I can't tell you how to do it. Only you can learn for yourself what it feels like, because it's going to interact with you in a way that makes sense to you. So I might be able to say something about how I interact with my intuition or what it feels like within me, and I can and I will. I'm happy to share my experience, but it doesn't mean that you'll have the very same experience. Yours is going to be unique, and it's going to be in your own way and in your own flavor. But judgment, again, what I'm being led to say is, when you begin interacting right with your intuition, you don't always have to be right. Like if we're playing this game right here and I'm asking, like just like this right here, what's in this box? For you to just focus on that box and think about it, and just try to listen to yourself. And it may not come in any kind of words or anything like that. It could come in textures, colors, you know, smells or sensations or anything like that. It does not necessarily have to be like, hearing the voice of God, ring in your ears. That's not, it's very quiet and subtle for me. And I have to be quiet in my own mind to see what it's telling me. Right. And that's kind of like what that, he's looking out over this vast distance, and he's just standing there and he's quietly contemplating. He's contemplating about what, he's contemplating here in this card about his ships coming in. This is about knowing the absolute path and direction. Because in the Two of Wands, he's already made his choice about what direction he wanted to go. So here in the Three of Wands, he's making that plan. So quieting your mind and of your intuitive connection, or of your intuition at all. I guess that would be up to you to define. But what aspects of it do you think that you have? Meaning, like, what do you mean by aspects, if you don't mind me asking? And if anyone else in here in the chat room would like to take a guess on what is in the box, we can do that. What I'm getting ready to do here is I'm going to just shuffle these around, and then I'm going to pull a card out without letting anyone see what it is, and I'm just going to lay it down, and that'll be like the test too. Tell me what's on the card. Tell me about the picture that's on the card. If that's something that seems to be easier or draw you more in, I'll just write test 2 on that. Okay. When you are around a person speaking to them, I can predict the things that they are about to speak about before they say it. Yes. It's only when I am authentic and tapped into my feelings animals metal? Obscure. Oh, what? Obscured by clouds. Wait a minute. That's the dark side of the moon. You're talking about Pink Floyd. So, back to when you are around another person and you're speaking to them, and then you can begin to get a sensation of what they're going to say or where the conversation may be going or something like that. And being tapped in and being authentic, the authenticity is I think probably the thing that is most important about our intuitive connections. I think it's really hard to carry around a facade of being someone that we're not and still have room and energy to focus on our intuition and our connection to it. It just takes too much energy to be inauthentic, because we're always trying to prop something up. We're always trying to, put on a mask, and that takes work. It takes a lot of work to, sustain it. And when we let go of all of that, then we contain our energy within ourselves instead of having to give it away to build up this falsity of our inauthentic self. So when we get more and more comfortable with who we are, being who we are unapologetically, I think that's when it becomes easier. We have more energy to focus on the connection to our supreme conscious, if that's, the words you want to use for it. So that is a gift, the being able to. So for me, I understand what you're saying about, when you're speaking with a person. I don't necessarily know what's coming next in the conversation, but for me, like in a face-to-face interaction, I can often start. I start knowing things about them, meaning like, I don't know, like a lot of their philosophies or their belief system, I guess, is something that I can read. I don't know really how to word it. But I guess that would be like, predicting like what you're talking about. We're here with the piper at the gates of dawn. Anybody else want to take a guess before I do that? Are you ready? Huh. All right, I'm going to take them out if I can. They're cufflinks, and one of them is a bear. Hey, Jason. And one of them is, what is this? Maybe a tiger or a lion? I don't even know. I can't even tell. A bull. There you go. A bear and a bull. Jason, you want to test your intuition? Do you want to take a guess? You want to tell me what the picture of this card is? What's on it? But yes, you can play guitar with both of those, I'm sure. And they would make a fine guitar pick. Absolutely. All right, I'm going to reboot my box. Oh, actually, I guess I have another box right here. All right, Jason, I'm seeing the center directions of or toward community, peace. Is that your guess for what's on the card? Because it could be. Makes me want to look now. Pain and face. Self-expression. What about that? What's in the box? I'm going to pick us another card. Whoa. Nope, not supposed to show it. All right. So the card that flipped out, Jason. There you go. Sacred space. I do too. You want to have a go at what's in the box? Come on, Wyoming. What's in this box besides? I keep showing the cards. What's in this box besides a guitar pick? Texture, colors, uses. I don't know. It could be anything. What's in the box? It's an apricot pit or a seed. Those are good guesses. Yeah, Jason, if you have a tarot question, I'd be happy to answer it. Do you want to take a guess on the box before I open it, Jason? Can I open it? So it's interesting that you said it was a seed or an apricot pit because look at the texture of it. It's a moccasin. It's a little clay moccasin, but it has the texture of an apricot pit or a peach pit. So that's pretty cool. But you picked up at least the texture. I'm going to reboot. Let's see. Yeah, nobody can see it back there. Can hear it. Try that one out. If you want to take a guess at what's in the box, excuse me, or a guess of what the picture is on the card, you're welcome to jump in here and let me know. Hey, Karen. We are practicing our intuition. Or tarot reading, if you have a question. But basically, the first one here is, taking a guess at what's in the box, or what the picture is on the card. And I was giving Wyoming some clues with the cards about what was in box 1 or test 1 here. So we got the Page of Cups and the 5 of Swords for the clue. Another 5. Okay, mandrake or some sort of herb. Mandrake, not like a duck, right? Are you talking? What is mandrake? I don't know. You're going to have to tell me what mandrake is. Is that an herb? You'd think I would know that. Okay. You got a guess, Karen? Yes, not like a duck. What color is mandrake? Sage would be too obvious. But still, it's a plant, though, is what you're thinking. White. You want me to open it? Crystal. And the card is fertility. All right. Here is what is in the box. It has a crystal face. It's just a watch. But it's green. See, that's why I was going like, what, are you just seeing green? Looking to see. I don't think there's anything else in there. Wait a minute. All right, so I'm going to reboot my box. And then we'll look at the card. Fresh box. Oh boy. All right, card fertility. So we've got peyote ceremony. What does it say? New abilities. But maybe there's your plant, Dennis. Wyoming. And wild guesses are good. I'm all for wild guesses. Fertile mind. Yep. For sure. Cut that out. I'm going to shuffle them up and pick another one. All right, card. Bison skull, box, a stone, or a carving. All right, let's do the card. The Great Smoking Mirror Reflections. And it's on a white buffalo hide. Nice. All right, are you ready for the box? Was it a stone or a carving? It's a potato. There's your seed. See, you were just seeing into the future, Wyoming. You didn't realize it wasn't in the box yet. Because it's shaped like an apricot pit and it's a seed. And then you were trying to grow plants out of it. See, you knew. You were predicting too far into the future. All right, I'm going to reboot the box. Do you have a tarot question? Go for it. Let's do that. Here's the box rebooted. Yes, check with Turtle. She told me, told you so. I'm putting my potato back. No more potatoes today. All right, maybe we should do a different card. Maybe not. This was good. Okay, I'll check with Turtle. Let me get us another test card. What is on the card? Pictures, colors, words, anything at all that you can pick up on. Go for it. Jump in and try. Let's see. Turtle. What does she got to say? She told you so. Turtle. What's Turtle got to say? Oh, there's one thing Turtle has to say. What else? Well, Turtle's like talkative. Let's see what she started with. She started with temperance, which is about balance. All right, balancing things out. What is it that Turtle's trying to balance out? Because, oh, look who showed up again. Transformation. And look who showed up again. Turtle was talking about, wasn't Turtle discussing him last time? Right. And judgment. I don't think I even need to read those cards for you, do I? I think that just makes it pretty clear what Turtle had to say. All right, choices. Aliens. Are aliens in the box? Like just that alone. That's what Turtle has to say. Aliens, huh? I'm going to pull some cards on some aliens then. Take a guess, Elijah's mini bikes. What's in the box? What's on the card? Pictures, colors. And we're doing aliens. 2 cups. The 9 of coins. And the page of cups. Connections. Wow. Okay, my dogs are upset about that. My dogs are really upset about the possibility of connections with aliens. Yeah. Brand new journey. What you got? The FBI and the government are not in the box or on this card. I mean, they could be, but I don't think so. A box is a keychain, and the card has some fire on it. Anybody else want to go for the box before I open it? I'm going to open it. I'm going to give it 30 seconds. We'll talk about aliens while somebody else decides to put their guess in the chat. Put your mouth where your money is, your money where your mouth is. Go for it. Take a guess. You got a color, texture, anything that you feel like you might be sensing off of either one of them. Just write it down, and then we'll look. Now, the alien question, right? The connections. Right. A lot of connections. Messages coming, right? Connections coming. And oddly enough, the moon. So maybe we're going to learn about something about aliens and the moon. We are the aliens. I totally agree with you. And maybe that's what that's all about right there. That we are the aliens. And that's the thing that we're going to discover. That's the connection that we're going to make really soon. We are the aliens. My dog's upset about that too. Okay. So Eli has guessed sandpaper and red. The card is what turtle really means. All right, let's take a look. Let's go with the card first. Fire on it. Field of plenty. Ideas, needs, manifested. And I'd give you fire on that. I mean, it's got orange, right? And it kind of looks like this little pumpkin's burning down here. I'd go for that. I was thinking about doing a reading on the hollow moon. What do you think? We do plan on making a moon landing this year, or at least a mission. Yeah, I heard about that as well. Somebody was sending some unmanned spacecraft to the moon next. All right. Earring and a keychain. And check that out. Look, you guys. It's a button, but it's the size of an earring, and it has a little loop on the back of it. Like you could put a chain through it. You guys did good with that one. Check that out. Just a little silver old button. All right. Reboot my box. Sandpaper. And what did you get? You got red, right? Isn't that what you guessed on the card? You did get red on that, Elijah. Yeah, I like the whole hollow moon thing. They were talking about, well, I mean, the science of it. That they intentionally plowed one of the rockets that they went to the moon into the moon to get a vibration reading from it, and it rang like a bell. That's what they admitted to. Yeah, okay. What were you doing just before the live stream? Okay. Let me pick another card for guessing. So here is our guessing card. Colors, textures, images. And then what did I reload into the box? And then we're going to look at what Karen was doing right before this live stream. What was she doing right before this live stream? Let's take a look. And if anybody has guesses for the box or the card, just write it down. And we'll look in a few minutes. Okay. What was Karen doing right before this live stream? Let's have it. My intuitive test. My intuitive challenge. What's Karen doing right before she popped in to see us? What was Karen doing? Fumbling the cards. I'm just going to pull a few, I think. That's what I'm supposed to do. Mm-hmm. The Emperor and the Tower and the Four of Coins. Karen, what were you doing? The Emperor. Wait a minute. The image is backwards. There we go. I always get it backwards. The Emperor, the Tower, and the Four of Coins is what they're telling me you were doing before this live stream, Karen. Okay, Wyoming, you got ping pong ball and winter for your guesses. Well, I don't know. You weren't arguing with your husband, were you? Is that what you were doing right before this live stream, Karen? Potting up aloe babies. Where did this come from? Holy cow. Whoa. Oh, I didn't even ask a question. Okay, ping pong ball in winter. All right, let's do the card. Records knowing revealed stone people. Look, there's your apricot pit again. But winter. Let's see what else. Stone people. Interesting. And then in the box is a stone, which is weird that we have stone on both of them. There it is. Let's see. Reboot that again. I can. Yeah. What are you going to do after this live stream, Karen? I guess it's getting dark. And it's cold. It was nice yesterday. We'll try from these. What are you making fun of us for? Winter's about to get bad. Stone soup, which is what the people will be eating soon. Depression inbound. Yeah, that's why you might be lucky if you have a garden. What is it, 40? Maybe. It might be around 40. I don't know. What temperature is it there? All right. I'm picking a card for our test. What is on this one? No, they're just going everywhere. What's on that one? Yep, absolutely. Gardens, animals, permaculture, and food forest. Let's look at that hollow moon. I'm curious. What do you have to say about the hollow moon? Well. They say it's the truth. What more? Well, talkative. What more about this moon inheritance? The 10 of coins. Legacy. Tell us about this hollow moon. Well, I move these tests out of the way. Well, I should call them challenges. Okay. Hollow moon, can you see those? The King of Swords was the first card that came out. And then we had the Legacy. Like, I'm seeing that as, I mean, it's a theory that has been around for quite a minute. And